Good news at Goodison, and Arsenal finally beat Manchester City.
Right, evening Tate.
Evening, Jack, you alright?
Yeah.
Well, we were until about half an hour ago.
We seem to do it. Might have to admit this every week now, but yeah, the sound, I don't know. We're hoping it's good. We've done our tests as normal, blah blah, and it's just up and down like a horse draws, as some might say. So yeah, if the sound is really quiet, just turn it up, roll the window up, and just crack on, because that's all we're doing tonight. So hopefully it doesn't sound horrendous.
Yeah, we've been playing around for best part of half an hour now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down.
Yeah.
But even the music is quiet, which has thrown us off. We've got no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, so it could be the app, could be the mics, don't know. But we're leaning towards the app because, like Tate said, the mic and all talking is low, but then the music, which is normally high, isn't. So maybe it's the app itself, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll try to do an amplifier on it and try to turn it up after the recording.
Yes.
But at time of recording, we still don't know what volume we're talking at.
No.
Maybe we get some headphones. Doesn't that work? I don't know.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just roll with it and see what happens.
Roll with it, and yeah, let's, like I said, roll with the punches. So this week's show will be a breakdown of what we did on the week. So Jack and I went to Ipswich to go watch Ipswich versus Hull. Then we will talk about West Ham versus Newcastle, and ending with Arsenal versus Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into all that, we will start with the teaser. And as you would have seen, Jack, this week, Mickey van der Ven became Tottenham's 167th different Premier League goalscorer this weekend, more than any other club.
Oh, really? I saw. Yeah, okay, go on.
But which two Tottenham strikers have both scored 91 Premier League goals for your club?
Exactly 91.
Yeah.
Oh. I did see there's a photo. It was like the newspaper report, and I saw it. Obviously, it's been erased from my memory. So
that's exactly where I got it from.
Yeah, there's a whole list of. I think it was a whole. Obviously, the whole
every single scorer you've ever had,
goal scorer,
minus own goals.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So let's start at Portman Road.
Yeah.
Hopefully that sounds loud.
Yeah. Hopefully you heard that.
So yeah, what an evening.
What an evening.
It was funny. So
we
rocked up there, got there pretty early, had a few beers. We got out the whole shirt, the whole tracksuit top.
Yeah. So met you on the train. You'd come straight from London. It was a little 5-carriage, wasn't it? But it was very busy. You know what I mean?
Very busy.
I thought it'd be busy, but I thought they'll get off at Chelmsford or Witham maybe. It was about 4:30, nearer 5 o'clock. But they just didn't. They went all the way to Markstag, Ipswich, and God knows where. But yeah, so I'm lucky I didn't get any tinnies for the trip, because that would have been so embarrassing.
Couple of Hull fans jumped on at Witham though.
Yeah.
And
Gave a little nod of approval.
Yeah, a couple of West Ham fans, a couple of Ipswich fans jumped on later on the line as well.
Yeah.
But we had a few nice beers in the away pub.
Yeah, met JJ.
Yeah. Put on a ludicrous bet for you say Hull to win 3-2. Was it?
All sorts of goal scorers, yellow cards,
goalkeeper books,
goalkeeper bookings, all sorts happening. But
and then when it placed, we looked at the starting lineup and none of the players actually started.
I think Hutchinson was on the bench, so yeah, that was the end of that. But in the station hotel opposite of Ipswich Station, which is cool. With the few Hull fans that made the trip were in and amongst it, and
then made the journey down to the walk down to the stadium. Got there early, had a few beers in the ground, and then got to our seats just before the players came out.
Yep.
And Hull don't think Hull came out.
No, I think they were stuck on the bus. They were atrocious, weren't they? They were awful, absolutely awful.
They did not play well. My takeaway was Ipswich were obviously very good. Goals came at good times and good goals as well. The first goal in the 7th was decent. Was it Wes Burns, Connor Chaplin and Marcus Harness? I think that's how you pronounce his surnames. Got the 3. Ipswich look like the second best team there. Yeah. But like you said, if Hull were the 5th best team, then my God.
Yeah, then Ipswich, I've got here, but my very little knowledge and attention that I pay to the Championship, Ipswich shouldn't finish any lower than playoffs. All right, they might not come up playoffs or automatic is tough, but yeah, they've got to be in the playoffs at least.
Get the one again at the weekend as well.
Yeah.
bar the first half, I'll be honest, and I didn't really watch much the second half because we were in full chant.
Yeah, we were the first half. We sat in our seats, our allocated seats, and we were sort of surrounded by older people, and people just want to sit down at a game, which is absolutely fine. We had got involved a few of the songs, and then we saw where the action was happening with the lads at the back. So second half came, and we went up, took the walk up the stairs, and got in amongst it with the whole boys, didn't we?
Yeah. It was good fun. Good fun second half.
That was funny.
So obviously Hull were 2-0 down at half time. Shortly after it was 3-0, and that's when the Hull fans thought, let's just take the piss a bit now. And the chant was because Ipswich was playing the ball around, and they won the ball back, and they were going, "We've got the ball." 3 seconds later, we've lost the ball. We've lost the ball, and we lost the ball. Went on for a good 10 minutes.
No, it was from I sort of made note. 60th minute they started it, and it didn't end till about the 90th minute. It ended about it stopped. I'd say for about 2 minutes from 80th because
they got a couple of free kicks.
Hull went forward, and it was attacking. They were clapping and cheering, and it started again because nothing else was happening. So then it carried on to the 90th minute. It was. I was next to Tate, obviously we were clapping, but I'm talking now, I was in hysterics. I couldn't control it. My shoulders were aching.
And I challenge anyone listening to clap to clap for 30 minutes.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And the guy in front doing that whistle.
Yeah. Class.
Every 5 seconds it was like
but in a whistle.
But whistling through his teeth, and it was so loud, but so funny.
Oh, it was very funny. The second half was well worth it. Very funny. Probably 700, 800 Hull fans.
They were half the allocation. So whatever the allocation was. Yeah,
I think
it was half and probably a bit less, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they normally give 2,000, but it was probably half that anyway, and then it wasn't full. So I'd say 700, 800 hearty Hull fans were there. And what a trip that is. Tuesday night to Ipswich, who were absolutely tearing the Championship apart.
Then to go back and then have to do it again to Millwall on Saturday. Yeah, which they got a 2-2 draw. But in 1 week, they've dropped from 5th to 9th. But that's Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's also...
I know it's early days.
They should be... I still back the whole boys, but on that performance, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, sorry.
But Ipswich won again at the weekend. 4-2?
4-2 again. Preston.
Preston,
started brilliantly in third in the
so
table.
They're 8 points clear now, I think, of third place.
Yeah, them and Leicester, so...
They are rolling.
Yeah, very, very good side in Championship Ipswich, and as I said, expect nothing less than finishing the playoffs. Yeah,
one last note. We brought the Aaron McLean Hull shirt down to Portman Road, and he did approve of it.
Yeah, he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he enjoyed it, and so did some of the Hull fans. Actually, you said, "Oh, mate, they're taking pictures of you."
Yeah, I think they were probably more shocked, thinking, "Bloody hell, why?" Yeah, McLean, I forgot he even played for us, but no, very good. It was a good night.
Right, shall we move on to the Premier League action?
Yes, yeah.
And let's start on Sunday's game, and the earlier kickoff of the two at the London Stadium, West Ham versus Newcastle. Both teams had midweek exploits. PSG. Yeah. Newcastle beating PSG 4-1 at St James's Park, and West Ham winning away at Freiburg 2-1. Newcastle looked early doors like they had a bit of the old quote unquote European hangover.
Yeah, and I've got that on West Ham. Really, I think I've got their record from last season. They had 12 games that followed a European game. They won 4, lost 5, and drew 3, which is not a fantastic record. And like you just said, it's that classic Sunday European hangover. But complete opposite for West Ham. They started brilliantly, 1-0 up within 10 minutes. But like you said, Newcastle, they were just looked off it, didn't they? A bit sluggish, slow tempo, weren't really. Yeah, exactly that. It was just a European hangover. Because was it Wednesday they played? Wednesday night?
Newcastle, yeah.
Wednesday night was incredible, wasn't it? 4-1, absolutely battered.
Their best
Giants
result
of
20 years.
Yeah,
arguably.
Ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous result, and they just absolutely steamrolled PSG at home, and to come off that high to then you've got a league game against whoever it might be. Obviously, this weekend it was West Ham away. That's very tough, and West Ham again after their winning midweek, 17 unbeaten in Europe, set the English record, which is incredible, really. I think that's. I know we talk about West Ham and give them some stick, but that in their own right, everyone laughs and they're in the lower league, in the Conference League and Europa League. But Arsenal are an immediate example of what it's like in Europe for English sides. Villa at Walsall a couple of weeks ago, and even Spurs. The amount of times we've had terrible results in more so the Europa League than the Champions League, but awful results against teams that we shouldn't lose to at least. And I think when we were in Conference League a couple of years ago, went away to Vitesse Arnhem. No.
Vitesse. You played Vitesse.
Yeah, and lost away to Vitesse with like Harry Kane and Son. That's ridiculous.
Rennes as well. And then the other one you forfeited, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We played these random sides and barely beat them at home. It's just... So, the West Ham, they're in a Conference League and they're now in the Europa League, but 17 unbeaten is very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the first Souček's goal, was a classic case of looked like Pope had a few many beers.
Yeah,
what was he doing? You know, like when you're on FIFA and you press triangle and you're like...
And that is why.
If you're playing like co-op with your mate and you're like, you press triangle, like, where's he gone running?
The goalkeeper is in goal. He turned like a barge bolt, didn't he? And
he's slow. He's not great with his feet. When he ran out, it's like...
So slow. Like, I wouldn't say he made the wrong... Obviously, he made the wrong decision because they scored from it, but I thought, it's like quite... that classic like positive decision to come out for it, but once he got the ball went past him, he was done when he.
And he weren't making a foul either. He was like, it was too early to make a foul.
Poor.
And Emerson round him played it across, and Souček won't score an easier goal this season.
No,
1-0 up.
That was only West Ham's only had one shot in the first half, and that was it. That was the goal. But 8 minutes in, they're 1-0 up, absolutely buzzing.
But the main talking point from the opening 45 minutes was Peter Banks' decision not to send off Bruno Guimaraes for a foul on James Ward-Prowse. So he'd obviously already been booked earlier on for a pullback or a trip on.
It was on Paqueta, I think.
Paqueta, was it?
Because Paqueta got booked because he did this. Is
yes,
and I'm sure you got, but. Yeah, Paqueta showed that imaginary card.
Yeah, they both got booked, didn't they? Yeah.
Which is the rule of, if you're going to do that, you're going to get a yellow card, which is fine. And the ref implemented that. Books Bruno, and rightly so. But then, like you said, minutes later, he fouls Ward-Prowse literally on the halfway line. It was a classic, panic tackle, and it's a blatant yellow card. I've got here, why? I just don't know what the refs are doing. In particular, Peter Banks is having a stinker.
It was at first because I'm watching it on the back, watching the Arsenal game, and thinking, "How that's another mistake."
Yeah.
But looking back at it in a cold light day. Yeah. I think knowing what's already happened, I think the first one is harsh.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think the first yellow is hot, and I think that's again that your refs think like that.
Yeah,
also.
they do.
You know that classic case when they give a corner and they're like. Was it really? And then as soon as the corner comes in, they blow straight away. It's foul, shirt pull, just to get away.
And then it's forgotten about, and I kicked up the other end. Yeah,
I think he's looked back on that and thought, is what he did enough to be removed from the field? I don't think it. I have changed my mind because yesterday I was raging. I think these idiots, how are they doing this again? Obviously, we'll get onto the Arsenal one later, but how are they going to make two mistakes again like this?
Yeah, but
I think the first, but it's a case of because he's given the first one, he has to give the second one. It's consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the first one is a yellow, and I don't like the players showing the imaginary card. That's wrong, and that's he correctly booked him. But I think he has to be sent off. He has to be sent.
Yeah,
and you're right. The refs always have and probably always will that. It's too soon. It's the first half. He's literally made a tackle back to back, but. When it's that situation, you have to forget that, and he has to be sent off. Yeah,
and I think that's come from last week, where obviously in the Spurs game, the Premier League don't want teams going down to 9 men and early red cards.
I know they don't, but if that's what the players are doing,
that's exactly the point I was going to go on to. I know you don't, but I don't want to.
Stub my toe on when I wake up.
The stuff in life you don't want to do, but guess what? You've got to fucking do it.
Yeah, and if the refs.
And if someone's causing you to do that, then you just have to.
Yeah, and it's not even if the refs don't do it. If it happens in a game and the refs make that decision, they do it. Then it will stop. Players won't make stupid tackles or rash tackles and pulling shirts and things like that, and you won't see people waving an imaginary card. So I think, and obviously, 100% of West Ham fans that I know and seen, they've fully agree that Bruno should be sent off. Yeah, and it's a totally different game.
1-0 up at half time with 10 men is massive. But 10 minutes into the second half, Newcastle get a free kick. Trippier brings it in, and it's a poor defensive header from... I think it was Alvarez or Odegaard, one of the two.
He sort of nodded it down to Isaac, didn't he?
Isaac, that goal impressed me. One touch, bang, out. Like the touchdown is literally perfect, and then he just clips it over the goalkeeper. He just looks cool when he scores, doesn't he? He's so long and gangly and great finish.
Yeah, he's a good striker.
So instinctive, and I think it's a great goal.
Yeah, and again, the West Ham fan, I didn't even take notes of it, but the free kick that led to the goal, they're up in arms about, and it's one of those, they're all both doing it a bit of... Paquet's sort of unfairly trying to move Tonali. Tonali's sort of tugging away because he's falling down, so it's I think it would be...
6 of one, half done. That's
classic. I think the commentator on match day said that. I just think it's one of those, it's a foul, and I think if you didn't give it, then Newcastle would be fuming, and I think it's a foul.
Like we mentioned the corners earlier, 99 times out of 100 that free kick comes to nothing. They play it short and people forget about it, don't they?
Yeah. And I'm not saying Paquet should have been sent off, but I've put a question. He could have been booked again because he was first yellow for the waving the card, that's fine. Then he gave a silly foul away in another situation. Then he done that for the free kick. So is that one of those?
Tossing up process,
Is that another? I'm not saying it should equal it out, but it's just an example. But then in the same breath, that foul that Paqueta made on Almiron in that moment, not for the free kick, but another situation, Almiron turned around and started waving the imaginary imaginary card. So Almiron should be booked. If you've literally booked in the same game 20 minutes ago, Paqueta, I just don't know what they're doing. I just don't know.
It's that every week, don't we?
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah.
But what was consistent was Alexander Isaac scoring again. What a goal this one was! Yeah. Crossfield ball, Trippier played a ball across the box, and Isaac opened his body up, left foot into the corner.
It was nice.
Bang, 2-1 in the space of 5 minutes. It's turnaround. Newcastle lead. He's some player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just good, isn't he? He's just very good, and he's comfortable in Newcastle side. The way they play football works for him, and he's becoming quite a player.
So Alexander Isaac is the third Swedish player to score in 3 consecutive Premier League matches. Do you know the other two?
Ibrahimovic?
Yep. I always forget he played in the Premier League.
Yeah. Could be... it can't be Henrik Larsson.
No, it's the...
Is it Sebastian Larsson?
No, it's probably the second most famous Swedish player of all time.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Or in the Prem?
No, of all time. I'd argue he's as famous as Larsson.
Does he play for Spurs?
No, Arsenal.
Oh, Lundberg.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie Lundberg. And he got 5 in the trot.
Did he? Yeah.
Freddie.
Almost, it sounds really harsh, but I forget he's Swedish because he was very good. I'm sorry, the Swedish listeners, that's a terrible thing to say.
We had some last week.
Yeah.
Your mates and your...
The very few words I know I can't say, so I won't say. But Teddy, if you're listening, du har en dålig bil. Google Translate that.
Do we have to turn explicit on for this episode?
No, that is one of the few non-swear words that I know, or sentences. But
I hope you can hear it.
Yeah.
with the
du har en dålig bil.
But it could have been even worse for West Ham as Isaac was played through, rounded the goalkeeper, hit the post, and the ball came back and hit. I think it was a guard, hit the post and went out for a corner.
Yeah.
That was very lucky. It didn't end up in his own net after that.
Yeah.
But when he ran through, he just looked a player full of confidence. He took it a little bit wide. Maybe could have hit it earlier, but
even then though, he still got a good shot away, didn't he? And probably thought he'd done enough. But it could have been 3-1. But however, Mr. Kudus.
Yeah, Mr. Kudus scored his first Premier League goal. His late strike snatched a 2-2 draw for West Ham. It was about 20 yards out, wasn't it? He rifled it home. Great finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, good. Out of nothing really as well. Good strike, edge of the box.
I think it was Kufau played it across, and he walloped it home.
Yeah.
At first, I thought keeper, but no, it's bounced into the ground. He's got no chance. It's skidded off the turf, as they say.
That was the end of Newcastle's winning streak, 3 in a row.
It could have got worse. In the last few seconds, West Ham nearly snatched it. Was it Bowen cut in, didn't he? And it was saved and just missed Benrahma, didn't he? Sliding in.
Man of the moment, Bowen, wasn't he? Signed a new contract.
2030. 7 years.
He wants to become a legend.
7 years. Do you think? I actually think most of that's got to be down to knocking up Danny Dyer's daughter, innit?
Hasn't really crossed my mind.
Because he's got twins now. She's got 3 kids now. He's got 2. She's Essex girl, isn't she? Stay around West Ham. Does he really want to be moving around? And I think it's a fantastic player, but the clubs he could elevate to top 6.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't go to Tottenham.
Villa?
He wouldn't go to Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, which is all London based.
Yeah.
Fulham's not an improvement.
Yeah.
Brentford is not an improvement. So London probably not going to happen because other than those 3, and is he going to move to Liverpool?
I thought he could have gone to Liverpool a couple of years ago, but
apparently it was interesting there. But I mean,
Villa and
you
Newcastle.
put it in quite a damning way, but maybe for family reasons.
Family, yeah.
That's probably a better way of putting it. Family reasons, he might stay. He might want to stay in West Ham.
Yeah, true. But that game left West Ham in 7th on 14 points and Newcastle on 8th with 13 points.
Yeah.
Do you know Newcastle are only 2 points? I think it's 2 or 3 points above Chelsea.
Are they? To be honest, I didn't look at that, but I looked at the league. I didn't realise they had started the league so badly. They had the first 4 games. They beat Villa, but then they played City, Liverpool, and Brighton, and obviously Brighton are up and down. But it's very
they lost from the trot,
tough.
Didn't they?
3 games in a row, which they all lost. But then since then, I think they've 4 in the league unbeaten, and drawn and 1 in the Champions League. So
yes, going back to them first games, I remember City was a non-starter. They were pathetic. Liverpool, they threw that away big time with Nunes double in the last 5-10 minutes.
But in the Brighton
game, they were crap. They got thumped. Was it 3-1?
It was on telly, wasn't it? I remember it.
3-1, 4-1?
3-1, and they were just pants. But they've since that moment they've done. Drawing against West Ham on paper isn't good, but if you look at the context, it's not a bad result.
I think it is now.
Do you reckon?
West Ham look pretty solid, to be fair. I think West Ham will finish 10th.
Well, you think Newcastle? That's a bad result for Newcastle.
I don't think it's a good result. I think not a good result.
Oh no, I'm with you. Yeah, that's what
away at West Ham is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that's what
I think they've invested that Declan Rice money really, really well.
That's what I'll say now. I must admit I'm wrong with West Ham, to be honest, and I'm sure there's plenty of listeners smiling away, but I think they'll be absolutely fine up until their summer signings of Ward-Prowse, Ward-Prowse, Kudus, and Alvarez. I think even plenty of West Ham fans would have agreed that. They might not have said they got relegated, but they'd have had a rough season because exactly that. They haven't invested any of the money back in from Rice, got no new players, no new signings, and then we basically wake up the day before the transfer window and they'd signed 3 players, and they just look very solid. They look like a classic Moyes, good Premier League team, and they almost rejuvenated. And even Paqueta, he's playing brilliantly. He had his head turned in the summer by the best team in the league. Best manager in the league, and he could have gone either way, but he's playing very, very well.
Have you waited for the audio to be quiet and poor before you
issue
your apology?
So hopefully you didn't hear any of that. It's all muffled and it sounds like I'm in a shed.
I really hope it's working. I've got no idea.
It looks fine, but I don't know. I really don't know. I think it'd be fine. If we
Um,
talk really loudly.
it's
No. But yeah, West Ham started very well in the league, or pretty solid. I wouldn't say very well, but yeah, they've done well.
Right, should we move on to the other game?
Yeah.
Arsenal versus Man City.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you didn't watch this live, did you?
No,
you were out golf, were you?
I had not a stinker, but I got all my timings wrong, and basically I was playing golf Sunday afternoon and went to the pub after. I had a drink or two, so I was just totally missed. I knew I was going to miss the game, but I thought I might get back and catch the last bit, whatever. But yeah, totally missed it. So I didn't record. I watched it. Started the game at probably 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So turned my phone off. Everyone when I turned my phone on, it was basically on fire. It was all stupid messages and phone calls but yes, I did watch it. Yes.
Yes. So Arsenal Man City is a sore one for most Arsenal fans, having the last 12 games loss. I'm not going to do it 12 times. Yeah, our record against Man City in the league has not been great. Cup competitions here and there, we've beat them in the semi-final a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you've 15. I've got here, might be slightly wrong, but 15 league games, 2 draws, 13 losses. Might be 12. 12 losses.
12 losses, yeah.
So it might be 3 draws, but yes, your last league win against City was 2015. I find that ridiculous.
Was the year Leicester won the league. So in that time, there's loads of stats. I haven't got them here to hand, but United have beaten the most. Spurs have beaten the next, and I think it's Chelsea. Spurs taken 17 points off Man City since the last time Arsenal took 1.
That's mental. I know, like, it's just based on your team's performance, but just by law of averages, surely you win 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of those games. That's ridiculous. Like, it don't matter how bad you think Arsenal were at the time or how good City have been, and just purely law of averages, you beat.
Even Wigan have got a point.
That's what. Brentford beat them twice last season. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's mental. It's a terrible record. But then the last 2 games, you've beat them twice. So Community Shield and Sunday, you beat them.
I know it's all if buts maybe, and the season pans out differently. But if we'd beaten them once last year, Arsenal win the league, and that's as simple as it is. And we can't give Man City 6 points and we pick up none out of them games. That's a 12-point swing in it basically. Yeah, they get 6, we get none.
I think we'll talk about the game, but you had to not lose. I know it's
and I would have taken 0-0 straight away.
A draw would have been really good, and you'd have been very happy. And Arsenal, a lot of people didn't rate Arsenal a serious team, but to win, obviously.
Because I was intrigued to see how we'd set up. Obviously, there was the talk: Saka, will he play? He's played the last 87, but he missed the squad, and it's the first time he's not appeared in a game since May 2021.
Yeah,
for
and
Arsenal.
It was from the midweek, wasn't it? Lens away. That was the first loss for Arsenal this season. Saka limped off injured. Before potentially the biggest game of the season. Whereas City obviously 3-1 away win, pretty comfortable. All right, they're missing some players, but pretty standard night for City going into the weekend, probably full of confidence and it's not breaking stride as such. But
I mean, I thought, and knowing that obviously they hadn't lost their last 12 against Arsenal, and they hadn't lost back-to-back games in Premier League for 5 years. Wasn't too sure who would pick. I thought the defence picks itself. I thought Partey was back in the squad against Lens. He might have started. I thought he would go 2 in midfield holding. So he picked Jorginho, and I thought he'd go Havertz up top instead of Nketiah. But he chose Nketiah and put...
He had Rice and Jorginho, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think we needed that. Because you can't go toe-to-toe with Man City.
Yeah,
you're going to beat them.
My opinion on the game was... I'd text you, but it was a pretty... As a neutral, obviously I'm Spurs, I'm biased, but... I thought it was a pretty average game. It's pretty boring, a non-event as such. And if you can compare it to the North London Derby, for example, it was a far better game. But obviously from like listening to yourself and obviously the other side, when you're involved in that game... Arsenal, like you said, that you can't go toe-to-toe with City. It's just... It happened last year. You tried to play the way you were winning games and you were good and you were being successful, but then you get beat. So, like you said, Arteta has gone a bit more defensive, if you like, 2 in the midfield and a bit more solid and won the game. So, who cares?
And it's the reason I thought he would go with the team I thought is because it's basically the exact team we played, and the way we played was in the Community Shield. Partey and Rice in there, and it was solid. We didn't... Arsenal, it was boring to watch, as probably for a neutral, but we didn't really look under any danger. And bar the first 2 minutes when Raya had a stinker at that corner, and was it Rice headed off the line? City had 4 shots all game. It's the fewest since 2010, the fewest ever under Pep.
At least for a Pep side in 13 years. And for whoever he's managed, that's ridiculous.
Yes, they had injuries. Don't get me wrong. Rodri is so important. I don't think anyone... I think people now realise they've had 3 games he's been suspended for. They've lost all of them. That ain't a coincidence.
And again, like I said last week, like I know maybe his hands forced with certain players he plays, but Bernardo Silva playing like a holding role. Like again, why... It's always Bernardo Silva, but just play a normal side, play a normal team, and he goes out and does that. He clearly
doesn't rate...
Phillips.
No. And then the only other one is Nunes, who came on. And it is Nunes. Am I missing something with Nunes? Is Nunes Man City quality? Not now. He's not. I don't think.
Oh yeah, pass on that. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
don't know.
I think haven't replaced Gundogan in terms of they haven't bettered his.
No,
they haven't bettered his ability. They've got Kovacic in and Nunez in. Are they better?
Yeah.
Don't know. They might be better in a couple of years. Well, Nunez might, but Kovacic is.
Yeah, it's a pretty nervy start though from Arsenal. I thought the first half hour, 40 minutes was
very
shaky.
Nervy.
Yeah, and do you think that? I mean, obviously he made a terrible error, didn't he, in midweek against Lens? So, do you think that's just led on? Is it him, or do you think it's?
No, I think that was a commentator narrative. He made one pass. That finish against Lens was out of this world.
Oh no, good finish. Yeah,
really.
But the kick or pass from Ray was awful. Was awful. But I'm saying
that finish doesn't go in 9 times out of 10, does it?
No. But it come from him misplacing a pass. So if he kicks it normally, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I also think the players. He gets the stick because he's the goalkeeper and he's the one. I don't think the players passing back to him were giving him good passes.
And that's what I was going to say. Is that, yes, he's probably thinking about a mistake and that maybe led into Sunday, but also the players in front of him, maybe they were just playing within themselves because obviously Man City at home, they know the record, they know it's Arteta versus Pep, blah blah for the title and all the rest of it. It just maybe it was all a concoction and Raya just as a goalie was getting the brunt of it basically and just looked nervy.
Yeah, and it was the Alvarez one that was up there.
That was. I thought it was in. To be honest, it rattled.
Also did Peter Drury. You hear him scream, but I think that's a poor pass from Gabriel. I think that's the only thing he did bad all game.
Yeah.
I think it's a poor pass from him. It leads him to only be able to do one thing, and that's make that pass.
Yeah, it was rough. But to be honest, the game was, like I said, it was a pretty non-event. There wasn't many chances, whatever. But obviously the main talking point that.
But I think that changed. I think that's what changed the game in terms of Arsenal.
It gave it a bit of bite.
To it.
Yeah.
Odegaard had the ball in his own half, going nowhere. Little ball around the corner, and Kovacic comes sliding in, hits him in the ankle. Neville straight away was like,
yeah, screaming his head off.
He goes, it's a bad one.
Yeah.
My view on it is, I don't think that's enough to miss 3 games of football. I don't think that's a straight red.
No,
it's a bad tackle. Don't get me wrong. And I've heard the phrase go around, orange card.
Yeah.
It probably is. If that's, I know there's no such a thing.
I don't know what that would mean, but yeah.
But looking back I said at the time, I don't think that is if that was Declan Rice.
Yeah, he'd be fuming. Absolutely.
He misses 3 games for that tackle. Yeah, it's bad tackle. I think they get that right. It's the second one, which is.
And then it's the same as the Bruno for Newcastle. Just don't know how he's not being given a second yellow. It's just simple. It's just an easy decision. It's the correct decision. I don't know why they don't make it.
But Oliver loves these things. He loves to be different. I actually think Oliver's the best ref in the league. And it's not hard, but it's not a high bar.
Yeah.
But I think he's the best one, probably with Andy Taylor. They're probably the 2 best of the bad bunch.
I think he'd already made the decision not to do it. And you could see that because as soon as the foul was committed, he'd obviously waving it away straight away. But I think that he made that decision before, regardless of what Kovacic was going to do. Kovacic might have just ran up, pressed him, and accidentally bumped him, and that wouldn't have been a second yellow. But that foul, it's just a second yellow. It's just what a stupid rash tackle. Like
what was he doing?
Yeah, was it on Rice? Wasn't it? I think Rice was deep in their own half, not really affecting the game, not doing too much, and no need for it.
And it's one of them ones that you said, if it done half an hour later, he's just off.
Yeah, and
it
sounds ridiculous. We say all the time, and we normally say about yellow cards when we go to games, but as soon as the second half starts, then the cards get starting flashing about, and if that was in the 55th minute, he goes, he's gone. Yeah,
but again, I think it's come down from the Premier League, and where Jota's been sent off for 2 yellow cards in quick succession, they don't want to do that because it ruins the spectacle and people pay and all this nonsense. But like you said, if people are doing these things, you can't. But you can't think, it's going to ruin the game. You're the ref. You don't care what the game looks like.
You shouldn't be worrying about how it affects the game. If it's 9 versus 10 or 11 versus 8, like
your job is to officiate and do what you see.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And in the same sentence, it's that word again, consistency. But in the Spurs game, Basuma correctly sent off, but. Who gets booked for diving now? Nobody gets booked for diving. And then in the same game at West Ham, Paqueta shows yellow card, imaginary card, he gets booked. Almiron doesn't. Kovacic should be sent off, doesn't get sent off. Bruno gets sent. doesn't get sent off, should be sent off. But Basuma rightly does get sent off. So what is going on? I don't know. They're causing a total mess for themselves.
And what I do think was a big momentum changer for Arsenal was, first off, wasn't really clicking. What's his name? Was Jesus out wide. I think he's a very, very good player, but he was, because there was no Saka, and then I thought Eddie actually had, I love him to bits, but I think he had a poor game.
I know you have a soft spot.
I think he had a poor game.
After the weekend, I'm just like, I know Arsenal fans try and get behind him because he's homegrown and all the rest of it, but he's just not up to it. I just don't think he's up to it.
As a starter, my reason I really like him, I don't think there's many better second choice strikers.
Yeah.
There isn't. I don't think there is.
Possibly, yeah, when everyone's fit, he probably would be coming off the bench. But
yeah, that's where he should play, and he should be 20 minutes in if you need to go, or if Jesus has scored and we want to rest him, whatever.
But then, like I think you said it the other day, but again, because of injuries, it's sort of lent towards that. But you're accommodating essentially Jesus, who's a far better striker than Eddie Nketiah. But obviously, because of players and personnel you've got available, so you're playing Jesus out wide because he's a very good player, but he should just be through the middle because he's a better striker, and then you should have Trossard. Oh, again, you got Mane who's off the bench, but who started on the left?
Trossard.
So it should be Trossard and whoever's fit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't accommodate Jesus because. Yeah, or accommodate Nketiah for Jesus sort of thing.
Because we haven't started this season yet with Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus as a front three.
Martinelli's been out for 5 games. I didn't notice. Yeah.
Is it 5? Yeah,
that might include the Champions League. But yeah, 5
and
games in a row.
And the Carling Cup game. Yeah. I can't remember where I was going now with that. Yeah, we've had a couple of injuries. Yeah, we haven't started the front three of Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus as our first choice front three. And that's what I was going to say. Eddie has started. Bear in mind, last season he didn't start a game till Boxing Day. He has started 7 of the 8 Premier League games.
How many goals has he got?
2.
Where's the Eddie counter this year?
Well, he scored more than Marcus Rashford. McTominay's equalled him though this year.
Yeah, exactly.
But Martinelli coming on at half-time for an injured Trossard that Arteta led on. He's been a bit up and down with injuries, Trossard, this season. I think he needs a couple of weeks just to get fit. Maybe the international break, he might get fit in that couple of weeks. But Martinelli is... Oh, you forget how quick he is. Like, he is frightening. Kyle Walker is rapid, and I think that's what Trossard maybe felt... Intimidated is the wrong word I'm looking for, but... He knows he's got no chance with pace. Yeah. Technically, he might be able to beat him with some skill, but Martinelli looks at him and thinks, "No, I'm 22 years old. I'm getting you. You're 32.
It's exciting for them, isn't it, when that happens?
And he gets the ball, and how he dribbles is just going at him, and he has a shot, 47th minute, whatever it is. It's the first shot on target you've had, left foot shot, comfortable for Edison, but it gets the crowd going, and he's see him tracking back and running down that wing. He's our outlet now. With no Saka, he's our hope. I find him such an infectious player.
He's a player that, like, if you're rapid, like that Doku for City, and even for us when Johnson's fit, like, because they're quick, it's very basic, but because they're so fast, you just love them watching. Even Solomon for us, he's not very good, but he's quick. So yeah, and that's the same with Martinelli. He's obviously a far better player, but they're direct. They just run it. They're not afraid. Yeah. He
gets the ball and he'll just run at you.
Yeah, and
he'll bundle his way through.
Yeah, he's going to sprint you as fast as possible. So, yeah.
But the second half was, like you said, the goal game was a bit of a disappointing show for a neutral.
Yeah, I'm sure as a Arsenal fan or maybe a City fan, I'm not sure they're interested, but they're probably invested and they're a bit nervous, and you obviously don't want mistakes to happen. But yeah, there was nothing to really talk about, and then it looked like it was just destined for a draw.
And I think both teams would have taken a draw. City didn't have a shot at goal after the 60th minute.
Yeah, they were pretty poor, I thought. Very poor.
But I want to give credit to my mate, Mikel Arteta, for his triple sub, because Pep made a triple sub. And then shortly after, I think we needed this sub. We looked a little bit tired. Eddie needed to come off. Zinchenko.
It's alright, it's muffled. You can't hear that.
Zinchenko needed to come off. It's because when he's playing, I call him Zinny. It's just easier. He needed to come off, and who was the other one needs to come off?
Jorginho.
No,
Tomiyasu came
Tomiyasu, yeah, and he came off as Zinchenko. Havertz came on for Eddie, and Partey came on for Jorginho, and needed something different. And that, I think, changed. The big thing I want to make out of all of them, Partey 6'2", 6'3", Tommy 6'3", 6'4", Havertz is 6'4", big players. And I think that was a premeditated sort of
plan.
Premeditated. That sounds a bit harsh, isn't it? Pre-planned substitutions to make if the game's in this game's sake.
Yeah.
Because then, what I did notice, Raya had a bit of a dodgy first half, but second half he was going long a lot. And because we had bigger players on. Havertz was an outlet. Jesus was an outlet. And that's where the goal came from. All 4 subs combined. Partey had it just inside his own half. Clipped the ball. Tomiyasu out of nowhere running. He's like centre forward.
Why is he up there?
But that must have been a plan to overload that situation. He's very good in the air as defensively. He wins the header down. Havertz gets the ball. I thought he was going to shoot. Takes a touch. Obviously the block's on. Lays it back to Martinelli, who shoots.
Celebrating own goal. Loser of the week, wasn't it? Porro for last week.
What a sully.
Yeah.
No, he would know. Porro's was an assist. At least he should have a shot.
Martinelli's a good strike, but yes, it deflected. And that's why I'll just involve myself in this conversation now. But yeah, it comes off Ake and finds a net. A couple of weeks ago, Neville, Romero, poor defending, poor positioning, terrible defending. What's he doing? Matip scores an own goal, absolutely blasted into the roof of his net. Neville, he's defended so well, valiant effort. Warriors, Liverpool, can't believe it, gutted for him. This week, Martinelli, great strike. What a great hit from Martinelli. Nothing from Neville on Ake's fat arse getting in the way. It's not terrible defending from him, but yeah, there we go.
And when that goal went in, my reaction, I didn't celebrate, I just took a deep breath.
Come back to life.
Because I'm so superstitious, I sit in the same seat every bloody week on the sofa, sat there. My left leg's over my right leg, right hand under my right armpit, left hand under my left hand. I don't move all game, neither at half time.
You must be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially when you need a wee. But 50 minutes in, I was like, mate, I'm struggling here. Because first you have to wait till no VAR nonsense happens. Yeah. Even though
there's nothing to do, yeah.
And then I let out an almighty roar at full time. That was like how many years was that? 8 years in the making.
Yeah, but and I wouldn't say he didn't deserve it. That's wrong, and it's not as if City deserved to win. But again, it was just that
a draw was such a fair result
because even the goal comes off a City defender.
It wasn't a good goal, was it?
Flies into the other side net. It's just that summed up the game, but. Like we keep saying, if Arsenal win 1-0 in that sort of fashion against Man City, they're not going to worry one bit.
And yeah, that's Arsenal now on 20 points. Level with Spurs, 6 wins, 2 draws. Both got the same amount of goals, but you've got a better goal difference. Got the same goal difference, you've got more goals.
I've seen that as well. It's now joint top, Arsenal Spurs. That's what I keep hearing. Level, joint top, all these words. Well, if the season ended today, we'd win the league. So... Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
No, I don't mind. I'm happy being second for 97% of the league.
Yeah,
I would take exactly what
there is no title race for Spurs, that's for sure.
You could personally, from an Arsenal, we're on 20 points, level on points with the top of the league. I don't think we've particularly played that well.
No, but like I said at the start, I think you're trying different things, and City was a perfect example of that. Arteta's got different players, and he's trying to. Yes, you can play that certain way, but to win, he's figured out maybe to try and win things, and you might have to have this other side to your game, and that's what must happen at the weekend, I think.
That's a great point you made. Now, my final point I wanted to make was one thing I was very impressed with Arteta he did yesterday, was he used the squad. A big criticism last year was we played with 14 players, if that. Maybe times 13. With the same, everyone knew our starting 11, and we would make 1 or 2 subs here or there if we were winning, or if we needed a goal, we'd panic and bring on 3 players. But this season is getting better slowly. He's not the best at it yet because he still trusts his core 8 or 9 players. But he made 4 changes, and all of them made an impact, and they were horses for courses. For example. Partey it was a good fit. It's better to bring Partey on for half an hour than to play him for half an hour and then lose him injury. Jorginho is a very good footballer. He can play well. He had a stinker against Spurs, but He's an experienced player. You can play him in a double pivot with Rice. He can do that job. Tomiyasu is a very good defender. I think that there's no two ways about it. I think when Zinchenko seems to be a 75-minute player at the moment. Don't think he's fully fit, or he's injury prone anyway. So if we're not winning, losing, we take a draw, bring him on. He's a solid enough replacement. Havertz is a bit of a jack of all trades. Do we need a striker? Is he a midfielder? Is he a winger? Is he a 10? Is he a what? Don't know, but as a 9 yesterday, he did a very good job. And Martinelli is a great sub to bring on. I know he normally starts, but Trossard was starting, and he's planned to pick these players in these times, and I think that gave the team that extra push over the line to get the goal, and they were all involved in that goal.
Yeah, I think the win is, like we said, you didn't want to lose again against City, but it's obviously a season is not over now. The title's still well open, but that win, and many have said it, but that win is massive in terms of the season and that sort of psychological battle and against City and getting one over Pep.
Oh no, 100%. And one last point was this time 2 weeks ago, Arsenal were 4 points behind Man City. Now that's a 6-point swing, which is massive. Because Man City don't.
No, they normally don't, do they?
But I'm pretty sure the last time Man City lost 2 games, did they go and get 100 points?
And they're
they
missing,
switch on, don't they? When they want to.
And they're missing Rodri and they're missing De Bruyne, which is obviously enormous for them. But they'll be right up there. If not, walk away with it again. I think
whoever finishes above Man City this year wins the league.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, team of the week.
Team of the week.
I really, really hope you can hear this.
I wouldn't mind it being muffled. No, I think it's fine. I really do think it's fine.
Fingers crossed. Right, team of the week. I will start with Jordan Pickford. So, I won't lie, goalkeepers was a bit of a to pick with this week. Potentially Sam Johnson, although I want to delete that 2 hours of my life out of my memory.
I've got them later on.
Dreadful game. But Pickford, first clean sheet of the season, I think, for Everton, and he made 3 saves, got 9 points in fantasy football. That's what I'm basically basing on.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do much. Bournemouth were absolutely terrible, and if you ever need a win,
Bournemouth
call Bournemouth at home.
And we said it the whole of last season, but Bournemouth at home.
Who was the last team that Everton beat at Goodison?
Bournemouth.
Yeah, last game of the season to stay up.
Yeah, they're even worse than we can imagine. But Pickford in goal. I'll take Saliba. Yeah, I'll take the red side of North London for our first defender. Yeah, big Saliba. Like we said, they were nervy in the first half hour, 40 minutes, but I thought him and Gabriel were the only 2 players for Arsenal in that moment that were switched on and dealt with the problems with Haaland, for example. And he was just very, very good. And I think you could have potentially picked him and Gabriel, but try and keep it fair and all the rest of it. But Saliba was very good. Very good.
I think he just edged it over Gabriel for that shoulder barge that Haaland ran into him.
That was a sending off, was it? The clip that's going around.
Even though Haaland's the one that initiates the contact.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just fans catching on to it, but Haaland gets up and starts having a go at the City play. He's not interested in the foul at all. Like, he's just not even on his radar. But Saliba was very, very good. And
I'll then take the Spurs defender we've gone for, Mickey van der Ven. So the first half, I think he could have worn his slippers, and I think he was wearing his slippers when he had that shot.
Yes.
A commentator said he's got a strike on him. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Have you seen watched YouTube clips of him banging goals in?
I've not seen any compilations of Van der Ven yet.
But obviously after Basuma's red card, he then had a bit of work to do. Defended well throughout, and he ended up getting the winning goal in a 1-0 win away at Luton. Took it well, to be fair. I thought at first, what scrappy goal.
I thought, the
way he adjusts his body.
Yeah, it looked like he's just sort of spooned it and it was a bit of a mess, but good finish.
He adjusts his body well, and another clean sheet, and his first goal for Spurs, wasn't it?
First goal, yeah. Him and Romero, again, similar. Both centre-backs. Tottenham, were very, very good. Him and Romero.
Just a quick point on Spurs. We haven't spoken in the all episodes so far. Surely now Basuma's been suspended.
I know what you're going to say.
You were losing 1-0 at home to Sheffield Wednesday.
United.
Sheffield United. Who comes on?
The Viking.
And wins the game. You were losing at
Did he come on Liverpool?
Liverpool, yeah.
When
I think.
Was
it a draw?
Yeah.
You win. And then you were drawing 0-0 at Luton. And who comes on? Steadies the ship. Inspirational performance. And wins.
Like I said before,
it's 3 games he's come on and turned the ship.
That's good.
Turn the tide.
But maybe that's an example. That should be his role. That's him. But yeah, you're right. With Basuma out.
Him or Skip starting against Fulham next week or the week after?
I think it could be Højbjerg. I think Højbjerg's the next in line. I think Ange likes him. But then I think that's his role. Like you said about Eddie, different scenario, different players, but that's them.
They're finishers instead of starters, aren't they?
They might not want to be that as a player. As
cringe as that sounds.
Yeah, they might not want to be that as a player, but sometimes you've got to know your role, and he's doing it well. But yeah, we'll see. Right,
which midfielder do you want to...
Whoa!
Slip
on that, on that, I'll take Scott McTominay straight in the midfield.
Played 8 minutes.
Yeah, played 8 minutes, scored twice. Sprinkled a bit of McSauce at Old Trafford. Come on very late on, scored. What was the first goal? The first goal was the right foot strike.
Well taken goal,
it was the touch from his shoulder height, brought it down inside, turned on it, banged it in, back in the game, and then gets the winner with your mate Slabhead, give him a little assist. But yeah, McTominay obviously didn't play the full game, but coming on scoring twice, very good.
And then the other midfielder we've gone with Raheem Sterling. Did we decide with Sterling in the end?
Yeah.
It was him and Palmer.
Yeah, it was him and Palmer, but Sterling was very good.
Rapid. Rapid. He won the penalty. I think he forced the own goal and he scored as well. Great performance, albeit against a poor Burnley side, but he looks good. He looks back to his best.
They were.
Although he didn't get
they were pretty good against Fulham, weren't they? Chelsea, and then obviously Burnley. I know Burnley aren't great, but they've done all right. Got a very good result.
Arsenal at home next. That'd be interesting. Pick up a bit of form.
Yeah, but then we've got them a couple of weeks as well, so perfect time. But yeah, we'll see. No, Sterling, very good.
And then our striker was the vote between Alexander Isak and Mohamed Salah.
We're just having a look now.
Both scoring 2 goals for their team away from home, both in 2-2 draws. We couldn't split them.
No.
Who did you vote for?
I went for Isak.
I went for Isak as well.
I just liked his finishes, really.
Yeah, and I went because he didn't score a penalty. Not that matters, but that was the only thing I could split him.
And we've got Salah 45% of the vote and Isak 55%.
Right.
So Alexander Isak goes into the team.
Right, international break this week, but Saturday prediction, Jack. Ooh. You got it spot on this week.
I did, yeah, finally. Got
3 points, and I got my first point on the board.
Yeah, like we had Leyton Orient Reading, didn't we? I said Leyton Orient 2-1. You said 2-0 maybe?
Yeah, 2-0, yeah.
And yeah, Leyton Orient got the win. We're going to go Saturday. Flash scores again. You know where we are? So we had a League One game, didn't we? What we got? FA Cup.
Internationals, is there?
There is internationals, but we'll keep away from that. We've got FA Cup this weekend. Who's playing? Oh, okay. So, bit of Football League, ex-Football League clubs. Yeovil at home to Southend at 3 o'clock in the FA Cup. What do you reckon?
Yeovil, Southend. Southend recently taken over.
Yeah.
Yeovil, though, they've got to be better than Southend, don't they?
Couldn't tell you.
I'm going to go Yeovil 3-1.
Okay, I'm going to go Yeovil at home. They're going to 2-0. They're going to beat Southend, I reckon. 2-0.
2-0. Right. Let's lock it in. I'll lock it in, see who comes up on Trops. Right, winner and loser of the week. I struggled with my loser. Actually, until I clocked about 2 hours ago who I was going to pick for my loser of the week. My winner of the week, though, this week, for me, has to be... I mean, I'm not his biggest fan because he just caused me a lot of stress over the years. But Olivier Giroud.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
AC Milan beat Genoa to go top of Serie A despite playing the last 7 minutes of their match with striker Olivier Giroud in goal. Funny enough, both teams had their goalkeepers sent off.
Really?
Game. Yeah.
And what? Both did the other team have a goleie or?
I think they had a goal. I think they got sent off later on.
Right.
Giroud put the gloves on as Mike McGann was sent off in the 9th minute of added time. Giroud stepped up and made a great brave save at the end. He dived at the striker's feet, didn't he? Like slapped it out of his path and then clawed onto it. But the first time he was in goal, the free kick deflected, hit the crossbar, and he looked at it like, wow, this is hard. And AC Milan now are selling number 9 Giroud goalkeeper shirts. I've seen in the club shop. Yeah,
I saw the save on Twitter in the week. Yeah, although it was a good set, it was more like he said he just jumped at the ball and just thought, yep, sod it, I'm going for it. Yeah, it was good, very good.
Your winner of the week?
I've got a bit left field and away from football. I've actually gone for Kelvin Kiptum, who many of you might have seen. He set a new world record for marathon time of 2 hours and 35 seconds. I think he's the first man ever to get under 2 hours and 1 minute or something.
He smashed about 35 seconds.
Yeah. Beat Kipchoge's previous record by 34 seconds. Kelvin Kiptum, the 23-year-old from Kenya, who set the record over the weekend at the Chicago Marathon, ran a average of 4:36 a mile, a pace for 26.2 miles. 4:36 a mile for 26.2, ridiculous. So yeah, Kelvin Kiptum from Kenya, a 23-year-old, with the marathon record of the weekend.
Right, loser of the week. I've gone for, as Jack alluded to earlier, we're on the way to Hull, on the way to Ipswich versus Hull. It was a very packed train of five carriages. Jack got on at Jumpsford, sorry. Yeah. I couldn't even see him, it was that packed. I'm sat in the middle of a 6, like a 3 and a 3 and a 6. And it was the day, some people may have been caught out, it was the day the audio got released for the Spurs, Spurs versus
I just clocked to what you're
Liverpool game. Man in front, 50, mid-50s, classic parents' phone, iPhone or something with a flip case. Opened it up. For some reason, he's playing the audio out loud, and you hear the ref started talking for about 5 seconds, and he's turned up louder because obviously you can't hear it. All of a sudden, you hear the
oh no!
You hear the moaning. If you've been caught out before, you know the moan.
He's been done.
You know the moan, and it is loud. This train is packed. There are heads turning left, right, and centre. People are biting their lip, trying not to laugh. He is gone bright red. He's then proceeded to shut his phone case. Speaker is still playing this porn noise. He wants the world to swallow him up. He doesn't know what to do. He's opened his phone up again, frantically pressing buttons, and then all of a sudden it stops. Eye contact. Look at the floor. The lady up next to him is like bright red, trying not to laugh. I'm biting so hard on my tongue. Like,
brilliant.
Don't laugh. And then we got to Whittam, and I just walked up to Jack. I need to fucking just laugh now.
That is brilliant. That's
so sorry, mate. We've all been there. Yeah, we've all been caught on it once.
Classic as well. Like basically a parent flapping because he's got a stupid case and he can't turn it off. Love it. Absolutely love it. My loser of the week is, you actually mentioned it earlier, but the Saturday night football on Sky Sports. Pretty straightforward loser of the week. But yeah, the Palace versus Forest game, 0-0, just boring. They rearrange and create the schedules for the TV and sort the games out. That we will all pay this ridiculous amount of money for, and that's what we get. Just a rubbish waste of time. Saturday night football. Yeah, terrible game. Terrible game of football, and that's my loser of the week.
Yeah, that was. How can you even be a pundit and look at that?
And get excited because Ed Townsend, he was obviously ex-Palace, he's like the new boy on the block and trying to impress. What a waste of time that is. Right,
let's end on the teaser. If you've heard any of this podcast,
yeah, I think you have. Just turn it up.
Teaser. Mickey van der Ven became Tottenham's 167th different Premier League goal scorer this weekend. But which two strikers have scored 91 Premier League goals for the club?
Les Ferdinand?
Guess both and I'll tell you if you got any right.
Okay, I'm going to go Les Ferdinand and Jermaine Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe is correct.
Oh, Les is not.
Nope.
Okay, Jermaine Defoe's not bad. I feel like Robbie Keane scored a few more. I'm going to go Robbie Keane scored a few more, so who's grabbed it? Crouch has not scored enough. I can't think, mate. It's probably one of them, though, isn't it? Sheringham scored more. It's obviously not Kane. It's not Adebayor. It's not Soldado. It's definitely not Helder Postiga.
Soldado, behave.
It's definitely not Postiga. Raziak can't be him. I'm going to go Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane is correct.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I thought he scored more, to be honest.
No.
Because he's had a couple of spells, didn't he?
Yeah, probably more for Spurs, but obviously this is just Premier League.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just Premier League goals.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It was Harry Kane number 1, Son number 2.
I
think Son's 108. Something like that.
Yeah, he's actually very, very good for us.
Yeah. Robbie Keane and Jermaine Defoe.
Nice.
91. Well done. You got that.
They were like when I was a bit younger, but like that was our
era.
Your
era.
Yeah, that was. Don't know. I was probably wrong age, but 8 to 14 was.
It was like Defoe.
Robbie Keane and Defoe.
It was with that big oversized shirt of Defoe bouncing up and down on his back.
He
scored.
Yeah.
he used to run like that. He said he used to be like that
because it used to bounce. No, Defoe used to live offside and just shoot from 25 yards whenever he got the chance.
Yeah.
No, good question.
No problem. Right, end of another episode.
Yeah.
International break. We will have an episode next week. We'll figure out in the week what it will be. Hopefully the audio works and we'll play around with it in the week. But please let us know if you've had issues listening to it, and we'll see what we can do to fix it. But yeah, just again, thank you for everyone listening and doing our stuff on the Instagram and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, just echo what Tate said, and hopefully the sound is adequate enough. It's not terrible. It looks fine on what we're looking at, but yeah, like we said, when it started, it was pretty poor. So yeah, again, just get involved. All the questions, all the Instagram stuff, whatever we put out there, just make sure you comment and pass it on to someone else if you haven't already, and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.